Hello everyone, I am Rajiv Saxena, Associate Professor, Smriti College of Pharmaceutical Education, Indore. In today's video lecture, we'll discuss about the preservation of pharmaceutical products. In the previous video, we have already discussed that the pharmaceutical product, especially which belongs to the non-sterile category, can easily be contaminated because of the various categories of the microorganism. The microorganism can easily work upon this pharmaceutical product because various ingredients provide various nutritional elements to these microorganisms, including the sources of carbon, nitrogen and other nutritional sources. So because of the activity of these microorganisms on the pharmaceutical product, various physical and chemical changes may occur in the product, and the product becomes so deteriorated that it cannot be consumed by the patient. Because of the spoilage of the pharmaceutical product, various organoleptic features are also changed. Maybe you can see the change in the color, odor, taste and various other characteristics including the phase separation. So it means here we can conclude that the pharmaceutical product is having different ingredients including your API and also your other excipient that can easily be contaminated by the pharmaceutical product. So if we have to protect the pharmaceutical product from the spoilage, we need to go for the proper preservation of the pharmaceutical product with the help of an agent which is called as a preservative. Now, what is a preservative? Preservative, it is an agent that inhibits or minimizes the risk of microbial contamination during storage and multi-dose application of pharmaceutical product. It means these are some of the chemical agent which is added in the pharmaceutical preparation, and because of the addition it causes the inhibition or minimizes the risk of contamination of the pharmaceutical product from the spoilage, because we know that once the pharmaceutical product is prepared, then it is having a particular shelf life. So during the shelf life of the pharmaceutical product, the protection is given with the help of these chemical agents which are called as preservative. So along with the active pharmaceutical ingredient, along with other excipient in the preparation, we have to go for the addition of one more element which is called as a preservative. Because again I am repeating that the pharmaceutical preparation can easily be contaminated by the microorganism, and various classes of microorganism including your Pseudomonas aeruginosa, E. coli, Staphylococcus aureus, Streptococcus faecalis, Pseudomonas species. These are few of the microorganisms that can easily contaminate the preparation and deterioration and metabolizing the pharmaceutical product in such a way that it is not can be consumed by the patient. So these preservative, addition of this preservative, this chemical agent help in the protection of the preparation during the shelf life, so that even if we are having a multi-dose application means suppose if the product has to be consumed for different times, means we have to go for repeated opening of the product, again we have to withdraw the product and it has to be consumed. So during the, maybe for example if you are having certain syrup bottle, okay, then the syrups cannot be consumed in a single day, so it is having a multi-dose application, okay. So every time when you are opening the closure of the bottle, then that preparation is actually in the direct contact with the atmosphere, and atmosphere definitely consists of different categories of these microorganisms. So even in this multi-dose application, accidentally if these microorganisms enter your pharmaceutical preparation, then also it will be preserved, it will be protected because of the agents which are called as preservatives. Now coming to the next point, that the preservative should never be added to mask the poor manufacturing process. It means we should not do like this. Suppose if we are having some non-sterile preparation and along with the ingredients we are adding the preservatives also. But we cannot do in such a way that we are maintaining some poor hygienic condition in the industry. Our manufacturing procedure is not following the guidelines of the GMP, and at the end what we are doing, doing? We are adding a preservative. It means your pharmaceutical product is already contaminated by the microorganism because of the poor manufacturing process, and we want to hide that poor maintenance by the addition of the preservative. So these type of practice should not be followed, because preservative has to be added into the pharmaceutical preparation which is already prepared, keeping in mind all the GMP guidelines, already testing the microbiological limits, because if the microorganism is under the limit, then only the preservative can work. If the number of contaminating microorganism is very heavy, it is above the microbiological limit, especially for the non-sterile preparation, in that case even your preservative will not work. So this statement is very important, that the preservative should never be added to mask the poor manufacturing procedure. Coming to the next point, what are the different ideal properties of a preservative? So whatever preservative that we are using in any product, it should have certain qualities that we need to keep in our mind before using that preservative. Now, number one is it should be non-toxic and non-irritating in nature, because this is actually added into the drug. Maybe that drug is taken orally, then apart from different characteristic of the API and excipient, when the preservatives are added, then these preservative should not be toxic to the person who is taking that preparation, and neither it should be irritating. It should not causes any irritation, maybe GIT irritation or any kind of irritation to the patient. Then it should be effective in preventing the growth of the microorganism. Definitely we are adding the preservative just in order to protect the preparation from the contamination by the microorganism. So these preservatives should have the quality to check the presence of the microorganism, to check the growth of the microorganism, and definitely in order to protect the contamination of the pharmaceutical preparation by different categories of the contaminating microbes. Next is it should be soluble in water. Then it should be stable to heat during the shelf life, as discussed earlier. Like it is, every product is having certain shelf life, and we have also observed that when we go for the manufacturing of the pharmaceutical product, in the packaging various instructions are given, like the product has to be kept in a it should be kept away from the light, it should be kept in a cool and dark place. So these instructions actually help in protecting the pharmaceutical preparation from the microorganism, and even in that condition your preservative can work well. But apart from this, if it is having the condition around the area where we are preserving or keeping our pharmaceutical product is having somewhat elevated temperature, then ideally what should be there? What should be the condition of the preservative? That under the heat condition also during the shelf life, the preservative should show the stability. Now the next point is chemical compatibility with other formulation ingredient. Again, we are having different combination of ingredients that we are added in the pharmaceutical preparation. So the preservative should not be incompatible with these different ingredients. Now the next point is should not affect the product container and the closure. We know that the container, it is made up of different materials including your glass, plastic, okay, and even it is actually tied with the help of the closure. So there should not be any sort of reaction between the preservative and the container or the closure that we are using for keeping the pharmaceutical product. Then it should have an acceptable odor and taste, because every product, once we go for the preparation of pharmaceutical product, it is having its own odor and taste, because we are adding certain coloring agent, we are adding certain flavoring agent. So every preparation is having certain sort of an organoleptic feature, like it is having certain odor and taste, but because of the addition of the preservative, it should not impart its own odor or taste into the product. And last of all, it should be economical. It should be cheap. It should not be very costly. So these are some of the ideal properties of a preservative. And next point is actually the different types of the preservative. So different classes, different categories of the preservative are available. We need to choose the preservative from different classes depending upon the product in which we have to go for the addition of the preservative, and also the product in which the chances of which categories of the microorganism likely to be contaminate the product. Maybe some products are more easily contaminated by the bacteria, some products are more easily contaminated by the fungi. So we need to optimize, like if we are having X product, then what are the susceptible microorganisms that can easily spoil these categories of the product. So depending upon those criteria, we need to decide that in our pharmaceutical preparation, which type of preservative has to be added. So different classes, different types of preservatives are actually available, but broadly we can say that the preservative generally belongs to the cationic detergent category. It can have the alcoholic category, it can have the phenolic compound category, or it can have some organic acid category. And in these categories, different examples of the preservatives are available. Like for example, cationic detergent, we can go for the use of benzalkonium chloride or alkyl trimethyl ammonium chloride. In the alcohol category, we can go for chlorbutanol, we can go for the use of bronopol. In the phenolic compound category, we can go for the use of the chlorinated and isopropyl derivatives of metacresol. In the organic acid category, we can go for the use of citric acid, acetic acid, lactic acid, salicylic acid, sorbitate, etc. So these are the different classes of the preservative that are easily available, but again we need to choose in our preparation that which category of the preservative has to be added. Sometimes the single preservative is added, but nowadays people are using the combination of the preservative, because your pharmaceutical product can be contaminated by the bacteria also, and it can be contaminated by the fungi also. Okay, so we need to optimize, like for our preparation, these are the list of the microbes that are susceptible, that can easily grow in the pharmaceutical preparation. So from this list we can go for the choose of either the single preservative if it is having the ability to kill all the categories. If it is having a broad spectrum activity, then we can go for the use of the single preservative, but sometimes the combination of the preservatives are also added in order to give the overall protection to the pharmaceutical product. Thank you.